Hello, Abigail here with another wax reading. This wax reading is when are things getting better? This is advice and guidance from spirit, some encouragement, some timing. We are going to do an energy check-in with this tarot deck just to make sure that this reading is for you. But yeah, this is a reading that is all about encouragement from spirit. I channel the topics before I do them, and this is one that came through really strongly. Like, when do things change? When do they start, like, actually feeling, feel easier? All right, so who is this reading for? What does Spirit have to say about who this is for? The Hermit. Yeah, this is for people who are feeling really alone, who are feeling isolated, underappreciated, as though they're going through a dark night of a soul. Yeah, Six of Swords. This is also oop, we will just take one. We'll take 3 of these. Actually, we're going to use these. I'm feeling very strongly that this pile is. Sometimes those big chunks fall out and I'm like, no. But we're going to use this pile actually to do the rest of the reading. So this is for people who have been putting in the work. You have been putting in the work. You have been putting in the effort. And it just doesn't feel as though progress is happening. With the Six of Swords, I think a lot of you, not all of you, but many of you have either relocated recently or are thinking of relocating. And there's a lot of change and upheaval, and you're having to do this all very much alone. Doesn't mean that you're single necessarily. It just means that you don't feel supported in this moment. We do have the High Priestess and the Lovers. I did say it's not for single people, but it definitely feels like whatever your situation is, there is a deep desire for connection that is not being met in this moment. And there are a lot of reasons for this, and a lot of them are subconscious, but you know that they exist. And with the Six of Pentacles that flashed me earlier, you are looking for reciprocation, you are looking for care, you are looking for love, whether it is from a current partner or a future partner, and it just isn't really manifesting in your life right now. Yeah, lots of fears, fears around friendship. It also, yeah, the Tower. You've been through some huge life changes, and I think it's really affected your friendships. It's affected your friendships, your communities. You were afraid of losing folks, and you did in fact lose some folks. I don't necessarily think this is like losing them to death, although it could be, but losing them to your circumstances changing, to you no longer aligning with them, people not meeting your needs. We have Judgment and the Star. Yeah, this group is a very special group. You have a lot of unique past life signatures. You've also had a reckoning recently in your life. It's not necessarily a punishment, I don't think, but it has definitely been like a lot of connections and relationships and choices have come back and maybe haven't gone the way that you have hoped. But with the Star here, as we move into the wax reading, there is hope. And that is what we are specifically looking into in this wax reading, is the hope that you need to keep going, the hope of better times, the hope of things changing, and of anxiety being less. So if any of this resonated, I usually go for about 60%. This reading is for you. But I will say it's already looking pretty good because we have the Star. Things are about to change, things are about to get better, and connection and care is just around the corner. And that's what we're going to ask the wax about. Anyways, I'm going to get the wax ready and prepared for us. The water, the light, everything, and I will see you all in a second. All right, we are back. The water is ready. Our candle is ready. I'm going to get it lit. We are going to be asking candle spirits, when do things get better? Let me get my tools together. Alrighty. Let's look at this. When are things getting better? What are some messages of encouragement? What do we need to know moving forwards? A lot of information here. Give me a moment to focus in on what is most important to channel. So I think we're kind of just being given a bit of an affirmation of that tarot reading. If you look at the fact that like the wax is just kind of like naturally circulating around the bowl, things are constantly changing, things are moving. This is a recognition of all the upheaval and change that you've experienced recently, the loss, the constant negotiating I'm hearing, and also adjustments you've had to make that haven't really felt fair. One second. Come here. Sorry, my dog is asking to get up, and I hate to interrupt these things, but he is a good little boy. There's also a heart here. There's a lot of heartbreak recently, a lot of loss. I feel like a lot of you have had friend breakups or romantic breakups. Um, just your heart has been hurting, and like things haven't felt okay on a lot of fronts. I'm hearing that like it's not been great financially, it's not been great security and stability wise. I will say bright side, we have this really lovely massive flame. So, you know, I do think there's a lot of energy for change in this reading, but let's see how and when we're getting some of that. All right, so we have a shape forming here. Let me look. It's actually a phallus, which is a sign of like fertility and abundance. Growth is coming in. I'll also hear it from some of you, and this, this can apply regardless of what appendages you are interested in. But there is also a sign that if the certain part of your life has been a bit dry, that some spicy times are headed your way. So look forward to that. Um, I'm also seeing a butterfly. Transformation and growth has been hard, but you are about to emerge from your cocoon. Things are about to shift. I will ask about timing here in a little bit, but I want to get into the reading a bit first before I start doing this. We also have a hammerhead shark. You are more powerful than you're aware of. You're also often underestimated, but you are a massive energetic force. You've just been really kind of drained and pulled in multiple directions recently, and that has been incredibly hard. We're also getting a slug. It has been a slow, slow slog. You've also had people in your past who you cared about, and I'm thinking pretty recent past, say some pretty hurtful things about you, some things that were not true, and you were feeling very kind of rejected and dejected in this moment. But now that we've done that, I want to ask specifically, where are the good things? Tell me more about the nice stuff. When will things get better? What I want to know. Well, I'm hearing very strongly, not necessarily in the wax, but from spirit, that soon keeps coming over and over again in my mind. Are there any signs? Are there any symbols of shifts and change coming in? So we have this kind of trumpet flower. It looks like a morning glory. I'm hearing it is darkest before the dawn. But specifically, morning glories tend to bloom in the summer. So for you, things are getting better in the summer months, whether that is very soon, because this is a timeless reading, or down the road. And I always remind people, like, when I give a specific timing, firstly, this is a general reading, but secondly, like, it doesn't mean good things aren't happening. The timing I'm usually giving is when, like, stuff really starts to feel real. Like, you start to see an abundance of something rather than just one or two things coming in. At least that's how I read it. We also have these 2 points kind of meeting here. A connection is coming in the near future that is going to make you feel more loved, more appreciated. You're going to feel actually seen by this person. It feels also as though you're not having to like um, be someone else. I'm hearing because this shape is a little odd. You get to kind of be your own little your own little self. You don't have to hide who you are or like put on a show for this person. Whether this is a friendship or a lover, there is someone coming in who you are able to be completely yourself around. Um, I'm seeing like a pillow and feathers, kind of like that kind of stereotypical idea of like, friends getting together and having a pillow fight is coming through. There's just a joyful quality to this connection that's coming in soon. Um, yeah, let's see. What else do we have here? So we're getting a snake. Its head's here. It's kind of moving through. You are transforming, and the universe wants to let you know that, like, the people leaving your life, while it is painful, it is for the best because you are transforming and you've gotten too big for them. You have become, you've changed so much in a positive way, and these people just haven't been able to catch up. And so, while this loss is hard and difficult, it is a sign that you are growing and changing and transforming into the person you were always meant to be. We're just kind of in the nitty gritty phase of change, which is never fun. Okay. You can't tell. I'm kind of getting this information in stops and starts in this reading. It's always interesting. I also think usually this is a sign of how stuff is going to happen. I do think what you're going to see in the next few weeks to months is like something good happening and then a pause. And then you're like, oh, well, that wasn't the big change. And then something else good happens. And you're like, okay, well, that was great. And then something else happens. And I do think it'll slowly start picking up over time until things are more and more consistently abundant. But yeah, this entire group's going through a huge transformation, or at least has been, and we're coming to the other side. We have this tree, but it's interesting. It's kind of like carved out on top and being slowly filled out as it moves up. You know, your success has not been typical. Your path is not typical. The way that you are going to move through the energy and through your life is not going to be typical. And this comes in a lot in my readings for the specific people that I call in. There's a element of the unusual, not in a bad way, but like you're not going to be someone who like forever has a 9 to 5 or who, kind of lives a very mundane life. There is an exceptional quality in this reading. But the tree is growing bigger and bigger. Your community is going to come in, your connection, your care, your fulfillment, all of these things are going to start happening in a big way. And right now, it feels like you're very much kind of healing a tree that's kind of been hacked into by someone. Someone definitely took advantage of you. Someone definitely wasted and drained your energy, didn't take accountability, took things from you that didn't belong to them. Um, and, the wax is here to say that, like, you do need some time to heal. But on the other side of this, you're going to be calling in better relationships, better friendships, connections. Um, I'm hearing specifically bosses that work better with you. We have a koala here. There is there is like a slow and steady quality when it comes to all this. There's also with the koala a call to become more attuned to your surrounding and your environment and to move with the pace. I think for some of you also, especially since we had that indication that some of you have moved recently, it's about connecting to the land spirits of where you are at and connecting to the land and making petitions for your own success on the land that you're currently living on. Especially if you're feeling blocked. It's interesting. We have a mustache here. So for some of you, there is a male figure showing up. However, with the mustache, they are hiding something. So this is a warning that this is not the one, whether this is a friend or whether this is a potential lover. The mustache isn't just a fashion statement in this case. There's an element of deception. So this is just a little warning from spirit. They may or may not have a mustache, but this is a masculine energy coming in, probably covering up some of the traits that you've learned to identify. So this is a call to really sink into your intuition and your lessons of the recent past to make sure that you don't make the same mistake with this person. The phrase, if they wanted to, they would, is coming to mind. So this is someone who promises a lot and then doesn't follow through, which is a pattern you would have experienced before. We also have this interesting, it almost looks like Shrek. Not all that glitters is gold. And Now it's turning into the Lord of the Rings quote, not all who wander are lost. Just because you've been on this journey and you feel untethered doesn't mean that you haven't been on a very specific path given to you by the universe. And your dedication and commitment to yourself, even when things have been difficult, is going to be rewarded by abundance and success in the near future. We also have this shape forming here, which looks like a bean pod. And so there is a rich harvest coming in. There is an abundance of things. There is a little bit of a warning of not to wait too long to reach out and take it. If there is an opportunity, make sure that you are listening to your guides, to your own intuition, to take it at the right time. Because if you wait too long for produce, it gets overripe, and can get like, especially with like bean pods, they can get kind of wooden and rubbery. So like, don't save up your treats too long. So like, if there's something abundant in your life, if I'm even getting like, if someone gave you like some special chocolates, crack them open. Don't save them for later. Enjoy your abundance now as a way to call in more abundance. Like, light that decorative candle, open that bottle of wine. Don't save everything for a special occasion, because making everything a special occasion is also a way that we manifest and call in abundance. So we got the summer as an abundant time. We've also got a little piglet here, which is possibility, future prosperity, abundance coming in. It's also about needing to like continue to chase your dreams. If you have specific dreams and you're like, should I give up on them because things are too hard and I'm afraid that I'm going to be in a hole if I don't shift directions, the answer is no. Continue to chase these dreams. Now, be open to like other approaches, but what you are desiring right now is the right thing. The thing that you have been pursuing, dedicating your energy to, that is it. We have a few more moments left. I'm specifically seeing 8. So 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 months, whatever resonates the most. You are going to be getting a sign that this is the right thing. You're going to be getting a yes, an affirmation, if you will. Yeah. Like two like fish kissing. Romance is headed your way. Um, well, I do sense that there are some partnered people here. For people who are not single, this is just for 2 groups. For people who are not single, this is a call to require more in your relationship, to ask for more. If you desire more connection and care, then your partner should be willing to offer it. If you are the partner who has been asked to give connection and care, this is your sign to put some effort into showing maybe your partner who might need a little more like affection, whether verbal, physical, whatever. This is your sign to, find a way to meet that need, find a way to compromise. And for my single Pringles, this is a sign that your person is coming in pretty soon. There is a connection now. Definitely watch out for Mustache Man. Sounded like another mustache man. But there is a connection coming in soon. We are getting some darker wax in here. So this is a sign of like, make sure that you use your intuition and you pay attention to red and green flags. Just because someone shows up doesn't mean that they're the one, but someone is coming in. You might be tested with a couple of maybes right before. So just be aware with the darker wax, like, you might be asked to prove that you've learned some of your lessons. Let's not fall into the same patterns we have in the past. We've got like a really cute little flower, like a daisy. It's giving very much he loves me not, or she loves me, or they love me not. If you don't know if they're interested or not, act like they are not interested until someone gives you a sign that they care. Doesn't have to be a big sign, just like asking, like checking in on you, sending you a good morning text. This next person is going to be very open about their intentions towards you. So if you don't know, then this is not the one. And also, there's an encouragement here to like ask them directly. And if they don't give you a straight answer, then take it as a no. And keep yourself open to options that are more available. In lack of availability for this group right now is a no. Like if they're not showing up, if they don't have the capacity to be the person you need them to be or the partner you need them to be, then why put yourself through this? And I'm specifically hearing why put yourself through this again. Um, yeah, we kind of have this amorphous blob. Like this, it's just kind of like growing. It's like if you don't know after a first couple of weeks of like dates or of connection, then it's not it, and so don't participate in it. Um, Same with work, same with other stuff. If someone is like kind of constantly breadcrumbing you and being like, oh, this job will be available in 3 weeks, this job will be available in 6 weeks, or we'll look at your resume, it's a no. It's a no until you have signed on the dotted line and you've gotten your first paycheck. Yeah, we're getting these little dark specks in here. Basically being like, you've learned a lot of lessons recently, like take people at face value. You know, that don't ascribe to them better, higher emotions than they are currently giving to you. We have another anatomical heart here. You know, you have been hurt a lot in the past, and this is going to be a tricky balance of, you know, being open to newness and not shutting yourself off, but also having firm boundaries. And the universe is like, there's no right or wrong way to do this, but make sure that you're, towing this line and making adjustments, not for others, but for yourself. We also have, oh, what are they called? I'm blanking. They've got like really huge eyes and they're like these little tree creatures. It's gonna kill me that I can't remember their name. But they've got these little sticky fingers and they like climb on things. This next stage, you get to be this cute little bug-eyed creature with sticky fingers when, you're gonna know that things are right. You're gonna know that situations are a green flag when you are able to be yourself and be vulnerable, when you are able to be a small, big-eyed little thing, and this is for work, this is for career, this is for anything. You will know the situations are right when you get to be vulnerable, when you get to be open about your needs. And if you're in a situation and you lose something because you're open about your needs, it's just the universe shutting that door because that door wasn't meant for you. We have a little fawn curled up here that was kind of affirming that you need to be able to feel safe in your next situation, safe at work, safe in your home. Um, we're getting close to the end, so I do want to shift to what some signs and symbols might be. I do think deer are a sign and a symbol. I think the little letter D is a sign. Ooh, there's something in the black. What is not even in the wax, but what is in this? Yeah, there's like a little figure of a person. You will have an interaction with someone right before things get better where this interaction just feels better. This interaction feels different from your other interactions. You're like, oh, this person is from a different version of me that is coming in, of a different life that is coming in, where you feel powerful, where you feel respected. Um, I'm also specifically hearing 444 as a sign that things are about to change for the better, that stability is coming, that you're going to start feeling safer, that you're going to start um, feeling and finding community. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, we're getting so many hammerhead sharks in here. You also, this is another kind of reaffirmation that you need to be stubborn. You have to continue to pursue the stuff you've been pursuing. It hasn't been happening because things are being lined up behind the scenes that you're not aware of. Not that it's not the right thing, and you really need to know that and to hear that. Um, Something's coming in. It's taking a minute. yeah, the wax is speeding up as we move towards the end here. Things are going to be happening faster than you think. A part of this is you believing that they are coming in, is you using I am affirmations, stepping into this timeline before it is physically present is really important. I am abundant. I am employed. I am wealthy. I am fed. I am loved. I am a little spicy. Thank you. Thank you, guides. I am well loved in a very intense sexual way. I am embraced for who I am. These things that might seem silly and trite from one perspective are going to be really important in shifting this dynamic and bringing in this better time that you desire, that you need. Um, we also have like a little large intestine shape here. Some of you really need to like focus on your gut health, adjusting your diet, making sure, I'm hearing specifically that you're, instead of eating raw vegetables, you're eating steamed vegetables. Sensitive tummies do not do well with raw vegetables. Sorry, salad girlies. They just don't. So more steamed and cooked vegetables in your diet. And some pro and prebiotic. A symbiotic would be helpful, is what I'm hearing, to tune your tummy up. All right. Anything else about when are things going to get better? The 8 is coming back in really strong. I think 888 is also going to be a big number. It's also the infinity symbol as well. So this kind of idea of endless possibilities. We also have like a little boot here. Take your little feet to places that make you happy. If you like art, go to an art gallery. If you like coffee, be at a coffee shop. You're going to meet people, I'm hearing specifically, whether romantic or friendship or business, in places where you feel happy and comfortable. So don't push yourself outside of your comfort. Like maybe if you don't leave the house at all, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. But like if you're looking for a specific person and you're not like, and like, so for instance, if you like classical music, you're not going to meet your person at a metal concert, are you? Or vice versa. So go to places that you enjoy. Don't push yourself into places that you don't in hopes of meeting someone that's just not going to match you anyways. All right, let me blow this out. As my fingies were getting a little singed. Oh, that smoke's so pretty. So yeah, we're looking at 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 months. Also, August 8/8, we were told that summer is bringing in better times, more happiness and abundance. If you were seeing this because this is timeless in the winter, like I said, it doesn't mean that like you're not going to see anything good. It just means like some of the bigger stuff is happening in the summer. And also, like I tell everyone in my readings, everyone finds my readings at a different point, beginning, middle, or end. If you are at the end, then things are coming in faster. If you are at the beginning, then things take a little longer. That's just, if you're the middle, you're right smack dab in the center. So I'm seeing tons of little circles here. There are so many people that you have yet to meet and to connect with. Specifically hearing like friendship and collaborators, so you haven't met everyone you need to meet. Some of your deepest, most magical relationships are yet to come. For some of you, it is children. For some of you, it is deep friendships. For some of you, it is lovers. I also have this angel figure here. You're being divinely protected and guided. I also wouldn't think it'd be a bad thing for you to reach out to your angels for help, to support you in this time, to bring in more abundance. We do have kind of this like little naked, scrawny, like chicken dinosaur type thing, which chickens are kind of dinosaurs. You are feeling very frazzled. You are feeling like a plucked chicken, but your feathers are coming in, times are getting better. And a part of this is you, which once again, I know it can be really annoying to hear this over and over again. Part of it is you believing that you deserve to see better things. You deserve change. A lot of times when things are hard, for some bizarre reason, people give the advice of like lowering standards. No, raise your standards, because in like the human world, yeah, it feels like more lack when there's less options. But in the energetic world, like the more specific you are, the more likely you are to find it, because you can match that frequency. So don't fall into the trap of lowering your standards. This is not the time. Also, the thing that you're pursuing career wise and success wise, continue to pursue it. It's not time to give up. It's not over yet. You have success there still, is what I'm hearing. We also have um, this kind of winged shape here, which, like, upright was an angel, and this way it looks more like a bird. Things are about to take off. You just have to continue to, like, do the little things that you have been doing and continue to explore things. It's less about building something and more about just opening doors and seeing if you can step through them. And I think as you open doors, rather than needing to step through them, abundance is going to flow through. So it is just about doing these little things that seem small and arbitrary that are going to be ushering in this better time, this more abundant time, this time when you feel more connection, more love, where you have more friends, where you get to build what definitely feels like, where you get to rebuild your community that feels like it was destroyed because you had some really big changes and people just weren't ready to come with you. But you are about to meet and connect with new people who are aligned with you, who are meant for you. And I really do sense that they are coming in soon. So keep your eyes open, um, eyes peeled. Also, I'm really hearing Jupiter Venus conjunction. We have one almost every year. So, any Jupiter, if you are interested in astrology, any Jupiter Venus dates, you should harness them, whether it is the Jupiter Venus conjunction or a Jupiter Venus trine. Um, you can go look that up online, but those days will be important for you. Anyways, my loves, this is my reading. Things are going to get better. They're going to get better in the summer months. They are going to get better in a series of 8s. I am wishing you all the success and many blessings. Bye.